Welcome to Raynell.com. Today we're going to do an interesting card because it has flags on top and little flags or tabs underneath. Now this card uses the Celebrate Today stamp set and the matching dies, and I'm going to use for the happy birthday the Something to Say. We're also going to be using the Playful Palette Designer Series paper as well as the Playful Palette Washi Tape. So to get started, let's go ahead and roll the dice and choose our colors. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stick with the black as our base, but we need one sheet of Designer Series paper and the color for our Celebrate. So let's roll the dice for our Designer Series paper. And it's a number 1. So we go to our stack and we open our page, and there is the number 1, which is the swirls. Now that we have our swirl design, let's roll our dice for our Celebrate color. And that's a number 4. So as I lay out my stamp pads in any order, I choose number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is going to be perfect with this card with the Sweet Sugarplum. Now for our cut list, we're going to need a scrap piece of paper, which we're going to attach the washi tape to. We're going to need a piece about 3 by 3 to cut the balloon out of, and that is going to be done in our chosen color, which is Sweet Sugarplum. We're also going to need the stamping image, which will be approximately 3 by 3 as well, which we will stamp the Celebrate on. We're going to need a strip 1/2 by 5 1/4 to do our banner greeting. Now, the top layer of the card is 2 pieces, one for the top and one for the bottom. Our Designer Series paper will be 2 by 5 1/4 for the bottom, and our Very Vanilla will be 2 by 5 1/4 for the top. For our card base, it will be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score that at 4 1/4. So let's get started with the stamping of our card, which is the Celebrate image. We're going to be using the Sweet Sugarplum. We're going to use that small scrap of Very Vanilla. We're going to be using the stamp set Celebrate Today, and we're going to be using this Celebrate. I'm going to be stamping on a stamp pad because these are photopolymer stamps, and I'm going to stamp right in a little bit close to the top in the Sweet Sugarplum. Then using my Big Shot, I'm going to cut it out. Now using the Celebrate Today, the balloon framelits, I'm going to turn this balloon to where the Celebrate is at the top of the balloon, just fitting inside the circle. And I'm also, now that I've got that cut out, I'm going to cut out the Sweet Sugarplum 3 by 3. I'm going to cut a balloon out of it as well. That will be my contrasting color for the Celebrate, or the matte. Now while we've got our Big Shot out, you want to emboss your 2 by 5 1/4 inch Very Vanilla. Now I have used the Petal Burst as my embossing folder, but you can use just any embossing folder for this top half. Now that we've got our balloons cut out, we're going to mat them. If you'll notice, it's just got a slight matting on the card. And so we're just going to slide that over just a little bit to where it's got a little bit of mat. And then we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to cut it in half. And our Celebrate will fit right on top of the happy birthday greeting. Now before we put our big shot away, we want to go ahead and create this banner in the center. And it is done with the banner die and washi tape. And I'm going to show you how we create that, because we want each little banner to have a separate piece of washi tape. So to begin, we're going to lay our die down, and we're just going to take a pencil and mark where those ends of each one of those little banners are, and those will be our guidelines. And what we want to do is we want to decide where we want our washi tape. I want a large one, a small one, medium, small, and then again a large. So I'm going to do them in this order. So I'm going to start with the large one, and this first mark, I'm going to cover that mark, and I'm going to kind of work on an angle, and I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to make kind of like a 2-inch strip. I'm going to do that with all of the washi tape, and we're going to cross the washi tape using those marks as our guideline. And if you'll notice, I am pinching my tape back so that I always have a tab on my tape. And I'm covering those little pencil marks. Now, we're not going to cut those pencil marks because they do show through the washi tape. You may be able to see it, you may not be able to, but once you get it cut, it would show. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut just above those lines. And see, here's, you can see through the washi tape where those lines are. And if you just slightly move your die up, you can see that each little banner will then have its own separate color. And we're going to go ahead and cut that out on the big shot. Now, using our washi tape, let's make these little tabs. And they are simply as easy as folding it over on itself. So we need to take our washi tape and simply fold it back on itself and cut it. You want about a 1-inch tab. And do that to all of your washi tape. Now for our greeting, we're going to use our 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inch strip, and we're going to emboss Happy Birthday using the Something to Say Happy Birthday. I'm going to use Versamark ink, but I'm going to also use the Embossing Buddy so I do not have any static left on our strip where our fingerprints might have left an oil for the embossing powder to stick to. using white embossing powder, or Very Vanilla works great. In fact, I think I prefer the Very Vanilla instead of the white. And it creates a great happy birthday. And just gives it that raised look. Now let's assemble our card. We're going to take the 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 1/4. And we're going to fold it. Now we're going to attach our designer series paper. And I use Tombow Mono Multi Glue. I just like it because it gives you some wiggle room. And I seem to always need some wiggle room. And I'm going to center that on the bottom, making sure that I have all the same distance on all the sides. Then we're going to take our embossed Very Vanilla, which was 2 by 5 1/4 as well, and we're going to place it on, matching at the seam, and that leaves the exact same edge, which is 1/8 of an inch. Now we're going to use some dimensionals, and we're going to place them right in the center on the seam. Oops, stuck to my finger. And we're going to place them all across the top on this seam. Now one of our tabs are going to fit on each one of these Stampin' Dimensionals. So I put all 4 of them, or 5, in a row, and then it's okay to skip one and then put it on the end. But I do want to make sure that this has something, the tabs have something to stick to. And those are all placed in the center. Now removing the release paper, we're going to pick up our tabs and we're going to put them with the cut side up. Now here's another key. Using your banner, lay your banner down, and this gives you a guideline of how long to place the tabs. I place them with the folded side down and lining up this bottom edge with the banner. It gives me the exact measurement of how low to put them on the dimensional. And don't worry about it. See, I'm not completely on the dimensional there. And that's fine, because this is going to go over the top. But now we want to take our scissors and we want to cut off this top edge. Then using our Tombow, we're going to place glue on top of the dimensionals as we lay our happy birthday banner on top of them. And we want to center that. So that each edge meets on the outside. Next, we're going to add our Celebrate. We're going to attach our Celebrate to our mat. And then we're going to attach it to the top. And it slides right in under the banner, the greeting banner. Now, using our little flag banner that we cut out, we're going to place that right on top of the banner here, and we're just going to use our Tombow and glue it on. And we center it right underneath the Celebrate. Now, here is something that I did on this card that I did not do on this card. As you'll notice, I switched up the washi tape so that it hangs above a different flag. On this one, I used them in the same order. I think I care for this one a little bit better of the being switched, but this still is a great card. Thank you for joining me today at Raynell.com, and don't forget to do the insides of your cards. Have a great day today, and God bless you.